over to Farrokh and we listen to you. Do you want me to introduce you very briefly?
And Sammy.
And Sammy. Okay, go back. That's it, just leave it here. Farrokh Mistree holds the LA Comp Chair and is the director of the School of Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering at the University of Oklahoma in Norman, Oklahoma. Farrokh obtained his BTech honors from IIT Kharagpur in 1967 and his PhD from UC Berkeley in 1974. Farrokh has co-authored 2 textbooks, a monograph and over 350 papers. He has received several awards for his research, for his teaching and services. Farrokh is a fellow of ASME and an associate fellow of AII. Farrokh's passion is to have fun in providing an opportunity for highly motivated and talented people to learn how to define and achieve their dreams. He is going to be co-speaking with his colleague, Mr. Sammy Haroon, who is an educator and a seasoned executive. In the past 20 years, he has made significant contribution in delivering breakthrough educational and business transformation at Procter & Gamble's first innovation center in the Middle East in 2007. And with a 3-year return of investment of $120 million, one of the highest of its type in the world. He has co-developed breaking course called Designing Open Engineering Systems at Georgia Tech and now at University of Oklahoma with industry engagement, delivering accelerated in product development. Sammy is the managing director of the RBR Group, an innovation management organization leveraging his methods of invention to innovation, eye to eye, and accelerated business commercialization. Sammy is the president 2011-12 of the Indus Entrepreneurs TIE Group in Carolinas. TIE is the world's largest non-profit entrepreneurial organization. He speaks frequently throughout the world on innovation and lectures at various global universities on engineering and business management. He received his nuclear engineering degree also from Georgia Tech. So I'll now hand over the proceedings to these 2 gentlemen to take us what it takes to achieve, in their view, economic leadership in the 21st century. Thank you.
So Sammy, are we ready to go?
Yes, we are.
And fellow IITians and friends, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to stand before you together with my close colleague Sammy Haroon, who is in the United States, to share with you some thoughts we have on the 21st century economic leadership in a wired and interconnected world. In our talk, we are going to make a distinction between the 20th century and the 21st century. That distinction comes about because the world is wired and the world is interconnected. In the 20th century, the tail end of the 20th century, the world got wired and the world got interconnected. The practices of the 20th century are anchored in a particular construct, and we're going to tell you about that, and we're going to share with you what we believe are the constructs for the 21st century. We start with the premise that knowledge is not contained, it cannot be contained, and our aim, our thrust, is to create the 21st century knowledge worker. 21st century knowledge worker. In the 20th century, our focus was on creating people who use tools. I believe the time has come for Gujarat to recognize that it is time to create the tool makers, not just the tool users. Next slide, please. I was very fortunate for the first time to hear the Chief Minister in person. I heard him yesterday. I've read about him. I've seen him on the web. I've read the sorts of things that he has done for Gujarat, and my colleague Sammy has done the same. We have collected a lot of information about Gujarat, and what I want to share with you today are 2 things that the Chief Minister said yesterday at the IRAI meeting. He started off by informing us that this is the golden anniversary of the state of Gujarat separating from Maharashtra in the Bombay Presidency. I remember that year, and I would like you all to think back to the year to that period when that separation took place, and I can tell you what it was like at that time, and I would like you to think back, those of you who were alive at that time, what the state was, and there's a reason for my telling you that. I went to IIT Kharagpur in 1961. There was no water, running water. We had water that came for an hour and a half a day. None of the toilets worked. The food was atrocious. The place was filthy. And we had wonderful professors, but we had no books because we couldn't afford them in those days. There were no computers, and there was only one light socket, no fan, no computers, and the warden used to come around, and if we used a radio, he would confiscate it. That was in 1961. When I think back to those days, and I think back to today, there has been an enormous change. So Sammy and I invite you today to pause a bit and think about what it is today. And many of you will be thinking, we can't do this, we can't do that because of X, Y, and Z, or we need to do this, we need to do that because of X, Y, and Z. What we would like you to think about is to view in this anniversary, this Golden Gujarat anniversary, this is the Golden Gujarat anniversary, the Golden Anniversary of Gujarat, to think ahead another 50 years, recognizing that in the past 50 years, Gujarat and India has made such progress. When I left the country in 1968, I was allowed to leave with £2 and 10 shillings. That was it. When I was at IIT Kharagpur, there was one telephone line, trunk line, at the student gymkhana, and I had to book a call and wait X number of hours, maybe days, for that call to go through so that I could talk to my mother in Maharashtra. Those days are gone. In the same way, if we looked around us today, there are things that are primitive by comparison to what it is going to be in the year 2035, or in the year 2060, or the year 2080. Now coming back to the Chief Minister and what he said. He said for that vision to come about, learning is the DNA of the social fabric. Learning is the DNA of the social fabric. What an incredible statement. What an incredible statement. It is the DNA of the social fabric. And then he made another statement which I harmonized with. And he said, and it's not an exact quote because he was going so fast that I just scribbled it down. He said, he believes the child has the liberty to dream, and expect the best education to achieve it. That is his vision. I mean, this is an incredible statement. It is not about the here and now. It is about the children being empowered to dream and the state providing the best education so that it can achieve it. So in the context of the preceding quotes, or the preceding paraphrases that I've done, Sammy and I would like to offer a blueprint for the future that is anchored in 21st century invention to innovation. That is, it's a blueprint. We are not going to make a recommendation, say do this, do that, do the other thing. It is to share with you some ideas that you could then take and collectively come up with things that are right for the state of Gujarat.